So what is a calorie and why should we care? Well, if you've clicked on this link, chances are you're looking to shed a few pounds, and your social media is probably already being bombarded with a ton of different diets, be it juice diet, carnivore, keto, and God knows what else. There's no shortage of diets to choose from out there.
Go on.
And we're not here to make any recommendations as to which diet actually works.
The hell you say?
What we want to do is educate both our followers and our clients so you guys can make informed decisions for yourselves. We don't sell diet plans, nor do we have any affiliation with anybody who does sell them. And that's why in this video, we're going to cover what actually is a calorie, why losing weight is a little bit more complicated than just calories in versus calories out, and what most diets on the market actually have in common. So, topic number one, what is a calorie? Simply put, it's just a unit of energy. Now, more specifically, it's the amount of energy it takes to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree. And yes, weirdly enough, I did just say 1 gram of water, which coincidentally is the same as a milliliter of water. And for those of you who are working out at home, a kilo of water is the same as a liter of water. Might be useful for your next pub quiz. Now, why does this matter? Well, your body actually needs energy to function, believe it or not. And according to the first law of thermodynamics, energy in equals energy out. So if you want to breathe, walk, talk, blink, think, or do pretty much anything, you need to be able to convert energy from food into energy your body can use.
Great Scott.
Now, interestingly enough, one of the other elements of this law is that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change forms. So what happens when we eat more calories than we use? Surprise, surprise, it gets converted into fat. Now, you probably know this already. But what often gets forgotten is that whatever diet you are on, the primary reason that it's actually working is because it's getting you to consume less calories than you're burning. Now, there are a few other elements and factors, such as food source, that play a part, but 95% of whether or not a diet is going to be effective is primarily down to the fact that it puts you in a sustainable calorie deficit. Emphasis on the word sustainable. And speaking of calories and sustainable fat loss, do you want to know how many calories are in 1 pound of body fat? I'm going to tell you, but your personal trainer might not like it.
It's a secret. Shut up.
1 pound of body fat contains roughly 3,500 calories. And I do mean roughly. Actually, at this stage, it's probably worth mentioning that the whole methodology around calorie counting is not precise. And what you read on labels in supermarkets are rough estimates. Now, this is one of the main reasons why we actually don't encourage people to obsess over the nearest calorie count and being super precise. But you should be aware of the ballpark amounts of calories that you're consuming and from what sources. Now, why on earth am I bringing up calories in body fat? Well, the primary reason is because 3,500 calories is a hell of a long run, a lot of HIIT sessions, be it, high rocks or CrossFit workouts. Whatever you into, you're going to have to do a lot of it. And this is why people say that you can't out-train a bad diet. Now, most of your fat loss is not done in the gym, much to the dismay of your personal trainer.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
It is done in the supermarket and in the kitchen. Now, that's not the most sexy answer that you'll ever hear to this, but it's the most honest one you're going to get. Now that brings us neatly onto our next topic of calorie source. Now not all calorie sources are created equal. And you probably already know this because I think everybody at some stage in their life has had either a Chinese or a McDonald's. You feel full and great when you're eating it, but then an hour later, your nose is in the fridge looking for something else to nibble on. Now, this is because your blood sugars are going to peaks and troughs, and it's confusing your system. So your brain ends up sending you mixed messages. Some foods mess with your ability to regulate hunger and energy, especially sugar and ultra-processed carbohydrates. And when you eat a lot of sugar or refined carbs, your blood sugar completely spikes and then crashes hard. And that's when you start to feel lousy, you get hangry, and just generally more irritable. Now that crash makes you crave more sugar to fix the energy dip. Like, it's basically like trying to stop a fire with petrol. And this is why, number one, you get hangry, but number two, you end up eating way more calories than your body actually needs. So that's what causes sugar spikes and crashes. But if you were to eat, let's say, a balanced meal with the right amount of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and some slow release carbohydrates, your blood sugar stays more stable. So you feel fuller for longer, you don't get those energy spikes and dips, but most importantly, you don't feel like killing the other person at the other side of the table because they're breathing too loudly or their chewing is irritating you. So look, there is absolutely no denying calories in versus calories out is going to determine whether or not you're going to put on excess body fat. However, the source of those calories is also an important element to that equation. Now, before you fork out for the next Ozempic shot or sign up to another diet group, try a cheaper option instead. Now that you understand what a calorie actually is, you can now look at how different foods affect your system specifically, right? Do they actually help you feel fuller for longer? Or do they just lead to more cravings and these energy spikes followed by energy dips? And by figuring out how your system reacts to different foods, you can strike that calorie balance that works for you long term. And that's what we aim to help people with. Now, if this video was useful for you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what your relationship has been in terms of striking that calorie balance. And don't forget to visit our website, thefitboss.ie. We've got some free ebooks there that you can download with this different meal plans that have a rough breakdown of both how many calories they are and where they fit in terms of your macronutrient requirements. And don't forget to keep an eye out for our next video. What the hell is a macronutrient and why should you care?